Okay, so it's so good. I'm just going to keep reading. This is chapter 9. Master of the Animals. Remember, they're on the woolly mammoth, and the saber-toothed tiger is right there, and they're trapped. The saber-tooth crept forward. Jack stared in horror. "Play the flute," whispered Annie. "Is she crazy?" Jack thought. "Try," said Annie. Jack held the mammoth bone flute to his lips. He blew. The flute made a strange sound. The tiger froze. He glared at Jack. Jack's hand shook. The tiger growled. He took another step. The mammoth roared and stomped the ground. "Play it," said Annie. "Keep playing." Jack blew again. The saber-tooth froze again. Jack kept blowing until he ran out of breath. The tiger snarled. "He's still here," whispered Annie. "Keep it up." Jack closed his eyes. He took a deep breath. Then he blew as hard and as long as he could. He covered and uncovered the holes on the bone. The music sounded strange, as if it were coming from another world. "He's leaving," Annie whispered. Jack raised his eyes. The saber-tooth was sinking off toward the cliffs. "We did it," said Annie. Jack lowered the flute. He felt very tired. The mammoth waved her trunk happily. "To the treehouse, Lulu," said Annie. The woolly mammoth snorted. Then she lumbered over to the tallest tree. From the back of the mammoth, Jack grabbed the rope ladder. He held it for Annie. She stroked the mammoth's giant ear. "Bye, Lulu." "Thank you," she said. Annie grabbed the rope ladder. Then she started up. Peanut climbed up too. After they disappeared into the treehouse, Jack climbed into the ladder. He looked back at the woolly mammoth. "Bye, girl," he said. Go home now and watch out for the saber-tooth." The mammoth walked away into the sunset. When Jack couldn't see her anymore, he started up the rope ladder. He pulled himself into the treehouse. "Ta-da!" said Annie. She handed the Pennsylvania book to Jack. Jack smiled. Now he was positive they had found the third M thing. "Their mission was complete. Before we leave, we have to give our coats back," said Annie. "Oh, right," said Jack. They took off their reindeer skin coats and dropped them to the ground. "Brr," said Annie. "I hope the Cro-Magnon people find them." Jack stared out the window. He wanted to take one last look at the prehistoric world. The sun was setting behind the hills. 4 people were crossing the snowy plain. It was the Cro-Magnon family. "Hey!" shouted Annie. "Shh!" said Jack. The Cro-Magnon stopped and peered in Annie and Jack's direction. "We left your reindeer skins down there." Annie pointed to the ground. The tallest person stepped forward and raised a spear. "Time to go," said Jack. He grabbed the Pennsylvania book. He found the picture of Frog Creek and pointed at it. "I wish we could go home," he said. "Goodbye, good luck," Annie called, waving out the window. The wind started to blow. The leaves started to shake. The wind blew harder, and the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. I'm going to read chapter 10 too. This is the last chapter. This age, birds sang, the air was soft and warm. "I hope they find their coats," said Annie. "Me too," said Jack. He pushed his glasses into place. "Squeak! Hey, you! How did you find the sorcerer?" Annie asked Peanut. "Squeak! It's a secret, huh?" said Annie. She returned to Jack. "Where's the flute?" He held up the mammoth bone. Then he placed it on the M carved into the floor next to the mango from the rainforest, next to the moonstone from the time of the ninjas. "Moonstone, mango, mammoth bone," Annie said. "We just need one more M thing. Then Morgan will be free from her spell." "Tomorrow," said Jack. Annie patted Peanut on the head. "Bye, you," she said. She started down the rope ladder. Jack gathered his things. He paused and glanced at the mouse, then stared at him with big brown eyes. "Thanks again for helping us," he said. Then he climbed down the rope ladder and jumped onto the ground. Jack and Annie ran through the Frog Creek woods onto their street. Their neighborhood looked rosy in the sunset. "It's great to be back at this age," Jack thought. "Warm and safe and almost home. I'm glad we don't have to go hunting for dinner," he said. "Yeah, Mom and Dad already did that," said Annie at the supermarket. I hope they trapped some spaghetti and meatballs, said Jack. I hope they trapped a pizza, said Annie. Hurry, I'm starving, said Jack. They ran up their sidewalk and through their front door. We're home, shouted Annie. What's for dinner? Shouted Jack. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed this book, guys. And the next one I do have. So I'll be starting the next one soon. Enjoy. I miss you guys so much.